Hello there everybody, and welcome to this feature presentation on YouTube. I am King Mac, your hamburger pal. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to enjoy a hot fresh cheeseburger along with some delicious golden french fries, a tasty milkshake, and a nice soft drink. Also be sure to grab some hot buttery popcorn while you're at it as you enjoy this episode of TTBurger Game Reviews on YouTube.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go.
Hello everybody! Welcome back! It is I, Tony. No Tony this time, just regular Tony, aka TTBurger, yay! And welcome to another episode of TTBurger Game Reviews here. I apologize for my voice, I'm still a little bit under the weather, getting over a cold here, but it doesn't mean we cannot stop these game reviewing action here. And we're on episode 259 of my TTBurger Game Reviews, part 1 of 1 part. And today we're going to talk about tank games. There's a lot of tank games, lots of them on the PlayStation, Nintendo 64, PC, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, Sega Master System, all the way back to the days of the Atari and stuff. There were a lot of them on the PlayStation, like Steel Rain, Panzer Front, which is one of the best tank-based games of all time, Missile Command, and Tiny Tank, and more. But for today, we're going to be looking at a tank-like combat game by the company 3DO. We just got done reviewing the Army franchise, so we might as well go back and do some more 3DO action. What do you say there? And we're going to talk about the BattleTanx series. And the BattleTanx series is kind of a mystery, like how I first learned about it. I remember going over to my cousin's 8th birthday, and they had a bunch of video games. They had like Pokemon Snap, Off-Road Challenge, and Gex 64 and stuff like that. And I saw this game BattleTanx. I thought, ooh, look at the way it still tanks and everything. And I put the game in, and I was impressed by it because it was on the Nintendo 64 and stuff like that. And I wondered to myself, would they ever make one for the PlayStation? And the answer is, they kind of did. There were 2 games in the series. The first one just called BattleTanx, and then the sequel called BattleTanx Global Assault. And I'm only going to be looking at one of them because the original BattleTanx was not on the PlayStation, so I apologize there. But we got it right here. The sequel, BattleTanx Global Assault by the company 3DO, released first on the Nintendo 64 on October 12, 1999, and then a year later, March 14th, 2000 for the PlayStation. And the PlayStation version is the only version I have. BattleTanx Global Assault, PlayStation version, people shit on it for numerous reasons, say, do not play the PlayStation version, it's bad, the 64 version is miles better, and blah 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 blah. Now whoever says those things must not play the right game, because I have played both versions, and for me the PlayStation version is better. It has more levels, more cutscenes, better graphics, and voice acting, and more fun factor. It's superior in my opinion. Sure, there are some problems I have with it, but is it a 5.5 out of 10 like how GameSpot rated, or a 4.5 out of 10 like how IGN rated? No, it's not that bad. It's one of the best tank games ever. Sure, it's not the best one like Panzer Front or so like that, but it's still a lot of fun to play. I mean, I love tank games and blowing stuff up with tanks, and this is, I mean, mass destruction. Like, what more could you want? I mean, there's games with lots of tanks you choose from and more. But we need to get started here. The story of BattleTanx Global Assault takes place on January 13th, 2006. That's interesting. I was actually starting final exams week that year when I was a junior in high school. Once again, starring Griffin Spade, the main protagonist of the previous game. He has a wife named Madison and an intelligent son named Brandon. The evil Queen Lord Cassandra is spying on Griffin and his family, kidnaps Brandon, and Mike controls Griffin's army to stop her. Cassandra escapes the United States with Brandon, and Griffin and Madison follow her to Europe and build a new army to stop her. During their time in Europe, United Kingdom, and France, they learned that Cassandra was the one who released the deadly virus in 2001 to kill all women on Earth. Griffin realized this is serious and they need to stop her. And the story is pretty good to see a badass villain in a story like this, and this was not common in video games around this time where you had a female male villain with this badass. This was really cool. And Griffin is still a likable protagonist along with his wife Madison too. And the story is set up to blow shit up with a tank that's suitable to your liking. There are 13 tanks and 40 levels, and some are exclusive to the PlayStation version, which adds more to the fun factor and replay value of the game, which is very nice indeed. But the problem I have with it is that The original BattleTanx was not released on the PlayStation, so fans of this game and the PlayStation will feel like they're missing a part of the story. And I do wish the first game was on the PlayStation. Imagine what they could have done with that game on this console for sure. But we need to continue. Graphically for BattleTanx, not the best, could be better. This was a game released in 2000, and there were games like Vigilante 8 and Twisted Metal and Road to 2012 look better than this. Sure, the tank models look awesome and impressive, and explosions are nice too. And the way things blow up and more and stuff looks nice too, with the environments and everything. But the problem is, while the graphics look good, they're not at the par where the games released around this time. And on top of that, the frame rate is atrocious, slowing down in the single digits when the action gets very hot. And the animation on the tanks look and feel very stiff. I mean, they look awesome, but the movement just feels very stiff, if you know what I mean. Hardware and some of the best pieces in the video game ever, and I mean it. And interesting to note is that, like, Nintendo 64 version of the music was included in the N64 version of Iron Man Air Combat. The voice settings hit or miss. Some of the characters sound good, while others sound phoned in. I wish there was more voice setting though, but there's still quite a bit here. The weapons and the tanks also sound awesome arcade-like and realistic at the same time. BattleTanx Global Assault's gameplay is fun and innovative, and it may not be the best tank-like game out there, but it's still pretty good, better than what the critics said. I know I said there are better tanks out there like Panzerfront and stuff like that, but this one is a lot of fun. You have tons of tanks to choose from that are to your liking. There is a tank for everyone. Some are slow and strong, others are fast and weak, and there are others that are all around. Whatever one you choose to play as, it's yours and you'll have fun. The game is like Steel Rain Panzerfront, where you're in a tank and your missions range from destroying enemies, destroying other tanks, destroying a boss tank, protecting a convoy, rescuing hostages, and just defeating Queen Lords and stuff, and more, bring them back to your base. There's a big variety in the missions, although most of it is destroying enemy tanks and stuff, but I'm okay with that. It still makes the game fun and enjoyable. You have tons of power-ups like missiles, machine guns, swarm missiles and stuff like that, and environment weapons and stuff like that. They make you almost invincible. And a radar, which can come in handy too, believe me, because without the radar, you won't be able to see where the enemies or objectives are on the screen. You'll be playing like a game of Duck Duck Goose to try and find it. You can also destroy stuff in mission maps too, which is fun. You have a bunch of places to explore, like the streets, you have the subway tunnels, and more and more and more. And multiplayer I never played, so I have no opinion on it. Fun and enjoyable, better than what the critics said. But now we gotta talk about the negatives here. The controls are simple, and you have multiple controls. When you destroy stuff, you can just be like mindlessly wondering where to go. You die a lot, and if you're not good, you will die a lot. If you die, you must use tank bugs. If you lose, if you want to respawn. And when you're out, that's it, game over for you. And if you choose the wrong tank, you will have to die to choose another one, because the restart option will start the whole mission over. There are glitches that will kill you or get you stuck. Sometimes enemies will kill you when you can't even see them and stuff. The mines are a pain because most of the time you can't hit them. They're hard to hit, costing you life if you run over them. They give you the option to watch the cutscenes, but they are all available from the start, which can spoil the story for anyone interested. And this is similar to what happened in Army Star Tales. If you know what I mean, go watch that review. And some of the weapons are weak and just not really interesting. You got the graphics and frame rate, like I mentioned, but still a fun game overall. Pretty good game. It should not be overlooked. It's better than what the critics say. Much better game than what the critics were saying for sure. And that's it for episode 259 of my TTBurger game reviews, part 1 of 1. Stay tuned for episode 260. What will we cover then? Hit the finals, which all I gotta say. This is Tony. Peace out, have a good day, and see you all in the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Hustle hard, hustle every single